Let's pause just 1 minute and talk about problem-solution essays. If you write about a problem and you consider solutions to that problem that have already been tried, that's a book report. That's a research essay. In order to make that a position paper or an argument essay, you need to offer a problem and solutions, and then you need to evaluate those solutions and find one that you think works really well. The difficulty in problem solution is to avoid using "we all must." No, we all mustn't. There are thousands of species, there are thousands of causes that require help, and not even the richest of billionaires can support every single project. However, you can write what you are going to do, and that can inspire your reader. And that's the purpose of this Save the Essay. First, you have selected your topic and locked it down. If you haven't done so, then you need to go to that discussion board and see what's already been locked. Then go to the list and select an animal that has not been locked. You cannot write about an animal that's already been selected. Now, this essay is going to be an interesting one for you to pursue because you are looking at a very emotional topic. These little animals that need to be saved. Highly emotional. And yet you have to present the facts, and for this essay, you are going to use the problem-solution format that comes from a positive point of view. I know that's difficult because you want your reader to be concerned and upset and see all the things that are happening and want to get in there and take care of this and give their money to this. But a more effective way of presenting a problem-solution essay is in the positive. These things are already being done. Isn't that great? Why don't I jump on board and help? And then the reader can decide if they want to jump on board and help also. That is more effective because if you present a negative solution point of view to your reader, the reader very may well say, well, it's already a lost cause. Why should I give my 5 cents? Why should I give my $5? I'm not going to do any good here. I'm going to move on to somewhere where I can make a difference. That's why the positive tone. So for your essay, you're going to select images that inspire hope. Well, that's a problem because we have a problem. And you're going to complete a paragraph that explains the problem. And you stick straight to the facts without any emotionalism. You don't need it. The statistics are going to speak for themselves. I've showed this example of a graphic that I found. It's a very simple graphic. Do you see the reader doesn't have to think at all? I don't need to go in there and add a big red arrow to make my point. Instead, I'm going to stick to the facts, and I'm going to present simple facts in a short paragraph. That way, I have proved, yes, there is a problem. I need to make sure that I never use we, you, we all must, or you can see that. Never, ever, ever. Instead, I can use first person, I, or I can use third person objective by simply stating the fact. Right? So whenever I write this sentence, I don't need to say, you can see that the buffalo population dropped dramatically from 1850 to 2000. Well, you don't need to put you can see. The reader can see that. The reader's not clueless. So make sure that when you edit, you take all those things out, because I know the temptation to do that. Now, I put this example here. You can look that over when you're going through the PDF. Now I'm ready to move on to my next set of proofs. And you're going to see step-by-step tutorials on the next page over. Now those step-by-step tutorials are like a short overview. And I want you to see that so that you can see the process of writing the essay. That one is much shorter than your essay is going to be. So keep that in mind as you're watching those tutorials. Your deliverables are a separate title page, name, course date, word count, and that was going to be with a total word count. So each time you complete a draft, that will be a word count, and you add those up. You can look at that word count up there in the Start Here menu to be reminded about how to complete a word count. Title, so you've got room because it's on a whole page, and a title image. Now let's talk about this title image. I used in the example, and let's just go with that, and that is the American buffalo. Let's take a look. Now remember, your title image needs to be inspirational. And you are going to be discussing in a position paper a problem and a solution, and you're going to offer up one of the solutions that you have found. Now, the important thing is that your title image makes the reader want to carry on and learn more. These are all nice pictures of a buffalo, or here's a herd of buffalo. But whenever I think about saving something, and again, that's the point of this particular essay, I tend to look for pictures of the animal with babies. So I'm going to look through images, and I'm going to look at babies. That's my strategy. Maybe you have a different strategy, and I'll be interested to see how that works. But your title image should be compelling, charming, and inspiring, and make the reader want to read more. Yes, that's great. So we've got that title image covered. Now, in the course of your essay, you need 4 to 6, with no maximum, additional images. Now, you're going to include maps, charts, images using positive tone rubric. No logos. If I see a logo, it's going to be 10 points off your grade right off the bat. A logo does not tell anybody anything. I don't care if it's even the logo for the organization that you find that you want to support. You need to go to the About Us section of that website and get a picture of them doing what it is that they do, not their logo. Not in an essay where you are trying to persuade an audience to consider the solution you like best. That is your position. No logos. Now, for your essay, you're going to need 1 phone call interview. All right, now I know your hair is on fire, but let me tell you how you do that. Let's say that I am looking for these buffalo. And I already know because I've researched this and I also lived there, but the place that I looked for is the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. Ba-boom. They will always answer the phone. They are stuck out there in Anchorage, Alaska, and believe me, they will answer the phone. So let's say that you're looking at the penguins. And you go, well, how am I going to get somebody on the phone to talk to me about penguin rescues? I promise you that somebody in this world will answer a phone. You may have to go to a small zoo, but they will answer the phone and they will talk to you about the efforts that they have been seeing made about penguins. Whatever it is that you find, you may have to be creative and come up with some strategy to get them on the phone, but you can get somebody on a phone. If you can't get somebody on a phone, then maybe you can check with a professor at a college. Professors like to talk on the phone when they're not busy. So you have to find a time when that professor isn't busy, but people will talk to you on the phone. It's going to take you a little bit of time, or maybe you'll get lucky right off the bat. You're going to ask that person on the phone to give you their ideas about this species, what efforts are being made, and where is the hope, right? You want to know what they have to say about the hope for this particular animal, right? Okay. Present 3 possible solutions. 2 are likely scams, and the one that you researched and interviewed is going to be your pick. So 1/3 of the essay needs to be devoted to your pick. Doesn't that make sense? Yes, you're going to use the same logical strategy to vet or make sure that you verify that these things are real. Now, your introduction, I've given you an outline template. You can spring off from this, but I basically want to give you an idea of how to write an effective essay for this. I like to always start essays in the first person and explain to the reader why I'm compelled to write about this emotional topic. When did you learn that the animal is in danger of extinction? Yesterday? Or 3 years ago when you went to the zoo? Or back in high school when you took a class or something? And now you're going to quote a statistic. And you're going to show in parentheses that source. You can see the easybib.com tutorials on this website. Now then, why is this animal worth saving? What do they contribute to the planet? It's got to be more than just beauty, because every animal does contribute something, and you need to find that. The next statement will be your thesis statement, and this sentence is a lot of problem with folks who have had trouble learning how to write a thesis statement. The thesis statement tells the reader exactly what your essay is going to be about in one sentence. So, and you're going to underline this thesis statement. So here's my example. The American buffalo have been a majestic symbol of the country, and I didn't say America because it's already in their name, and benefit the planet with meat, fur, and the ecosystem. But declining populations threaten existence, a problem which organizations... So I know that the very first thing I'm going to be researching is the Buffalo SOS program. Next, the Buffalo team, and finally the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Buffalo program hope to solve. I've told the reader my topic is the American buffalo. My reason that I have chosen this topic is because they are worthy. I have indicated to the reader that there will be 3 sections to this essay. Research about Buffalo SOS, research about the American Buffalo team, and research about my pick, the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Buffalo program. And then I have a transition sentence that leads into my section where I describe the animal. Now, some people go in, they start describing the animal, and they say the name of this animal comes from the Latin root of whatever they found on the website when they researched the animal. Keep in mind, you're talking about a problem with this animal. Does your reader need to know the Latin root of the name of the animal? Or do they need to know what that animal does in the wild, how valuable they are, how precious they are to the earth, blah, blah? You might want to tell the reader where the animal lives. This is a place where you might put a map or show the animal in the wild and simply say where the animal is from, so forth. Whatever facts you decide you want to tell the audience, your reader, about your animal. Each sentence you write should make the reader want to move on. A well-crafted, well-worded sentence will make the reader want to keep reading. Otherwise, just like when you visit a website and click out in 2 seconds, a reader can put down your essay in 2 seconds. And of course, you want to have a transition that leads into the first solution that you have researched. Now, your research criteria will be the same for each 3 of the organizations you have chosen. Who proposes a solution? You find their website and you look at their mission statement. Every website has to have a mission statement or it won't be on Google. When you find their mission statement, it's so easy to vet them. If it's weird worded or something a little fuzzy or so general that it's not really showing a specific goal, then you know that you've got a problem. What does the organization promise to do, and do they actually do that? Are there hidden facts? dated or missing success and financial reports are a clue, you can Google financial reports for whatever the organization is, and they should be made public. And if they aren't, that's a problem. A lot of these places say, give us $500 and you can adopt a bear, or you can adopt something. Those adopt programs, where's that money go? Did I really just adopt that? They send me a pretty picture, but did I really just adopt that? Well, I'll tell you what. A student wrote about the California condors, and they researched all of those adopt one, and they were all scams. And the one that they found that was really awesome was the Los Angeles Zoo program. And so I give money to the Los Angeles Zoo every month because I know exactly where it's going. Not to some adopt program, but to a program that I know is using the money and I know how they're using it. So beware of those adopt programs. They're fun to research because they're easily exposed as frauds. Now, having researched this organization, I have serious doubts about their effectiveness or legitimacy or goals or unfulfilled promises or whatever it is that you found. Now we move on to the solution 2. How do we know the solution 2 is there? Because if we go back to our thesis sentence, there it is. So now we are in this particular solution. And we go through the exact same process. If it takes 2 paragraphs to go through that process, or even 3, that's fine. A paragraph needs to have a topic sentence, and it needs to be 8 to 9 sentences and no longer. I run into that problem with students a great deal who were not given the benefit of learning how to complete a paragraph. And so some of their paragraphs go on for pages and pages and pages. And so make sure that your topic, sentence, and the paragraph states exactly what that paragraph is about, and then move on to the next. Now we come to solution 3, your brainchild. This is the one that you support, that you are going to give your time, generosity, mention it on your social media. What is it that you're going to do? Whatever. That's this one. And this one is where you conduct the phone interview. We don't need a phone interview for the other 2 that we have strong suspicions about. We just need to have a phone interview with the people that we like. Now, a third of the essay is going to be several paragraphs that follow this program. What have they done in the past? Whatever criteria you want to set up once you find out about it. And then you have your conclusion. And conclusions are very difficult to write. Makes me set my hair on fire half the time. But conclusions are easy if you actually set them out in an outline. Now, while I was researching about these wood bison, I probably found some information that I just couldn't put anywhere. And so I'm going to add that in this conclusion. I'm going to add one quote from my phone interview. I'm going to save one of those little juicy morsels that my phone person said about the hope for this species. And I'm going to put that quote in my conclusion. In 1 or 2 sentences, sing the praises of your chosen solution. Mention the ones that weren't working, but they don't deserve a whole lot of time because your time was spent on the solution that you thought was best. And then we have your actions. Indicate the actions that you intend to take. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to say, I'm going to give $5 million to this organization. It may say, I'm starting a blog about this. I'm going to post this on my social media. I'm going to donate $5 a month. I volunteered to be one of their media research people. Whatever it is that you are legitimately really going to do. If all you are going to do is post the awareness of this project and post that on a million different social media platforms, that's fine. Say that's what you're going to do. If you're going to give $5 a month, that's fine. Say that's what you're going to do. You don't have to make up anything here. It's fine if what you can do is volunteer to spread the word. It's fine if you want to publish a blog. It's fine whatever you say, but whatever you say you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. Now, I have never used the words we all, you all, we must. I simply make a statement in my essay, and because I'm publishing this essay online, I'm saying if my reader would like to have more information, here's where they can find out more information. And then I'm going to wrap up with a well-crafted, inspiring statement in my own words. Maybe another quote from somebody special and an image that shows people helping this animal. Ta-da! And that's your essay. Then you're going to go back and you're going to review the essay and you're going to edit. And the first thing I do when I edit an essay, and that's me, is I go in and I do find and I put in the word we. And I find all of them. And usually I have slipped one in there somewhere and I take that out. I do a search for the word you, Y-O-U. I find those, I take them out. I find the word us, all of those things. So carry on with this. I think you're going to enjoy this assignment. I always get teary-eyed when I read these, so I'm looking forward to seeing how you resolve the problem that is the potential extinction of your animal. That concludes this tutorial.